Well, this was quite the performance by Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought they played really well. I thought that this was a really good performance by them. I mean, listen, you put up 40 points. Mahomes puts up over 400 yards. Like, I know that, and he put up over 400 yards on 35 attempts. So, I mean, the efficiency there is fantastic. Numbers-wise, this was a good game. You could, have your quibbles with a couple of plays. The two could have been interceptions. Sure, I don't disagree. But at the same time, there's, so much good. And with Mahomes, it's always been, does the good outweigh the bad? And there's, for the first time ever, there were a couple of games where the good didn't outweigh the bad. But, the good outweighed the bad. There's no argument in this one. So, yeah, that's what I thought. And let's get into the film study. I thought there's some really interesting schematic stuff that went on. So, let's just get into it. So, first, something like this. This is what we've been asking to see out of Kansas City for, since the Super Bowl, basically. And finally, we started to see some of this stuff more. And in fairness, we saw them do this last year to some degree as well. It's kind of been a weird hiccup, but we're seeing more of it. And I should probably explain what quote-unquote it is, which is plays that can beat two safety deep coverages. We've seen this across the league now where, star quarterbacks aren't doing as well when they have to go up against two safety deep coverages. Well, that's been really, the headliner of that has been with Mahomes, but they were able to get some stuff going. This is a great example of, even Andy Reidifying it a little bit, where Tyreek Hill's running a go route towards the top of the screen. He's going to take away the corner deep, and he's probably going to take away the safety deep, meaning that the only way that Travis Kelce could get covered on this play would be if a linebacker reads it and comes over to cover him. That's what you would suspect. It's a 3rd down and 5, so you really want to, gain 5 yards here. Kelce's route is pretty simple. He's just going to run to the sideline, but he's not going to run it in a simple way. I love this little wrinkle that they added to it. I don't know if this was Andy Reid or just Kelce doing his thing. My guess would be just Kelce doing his thing, but it might have been, Andy Reid. Who knows? Because look how right when this play starts, watch Kelce kind of fake as though he's going to his right a little bit. It's a little fake. It's nothing too fancy, but again, you're kind of helping freeze the safety, Jonathan Abram, who's further deep. You're just freezing him a little bit, keeping him there for a little bit longer, which is going to allow you to get more open. And as you see, Kelce does cut. He's going to get wide open. Mahomes hits him. It's not the hardest degree of difficulty throw from Mahomes, but again, the whole goal is you set stuff up because you know what coverage teams are playing against you, because that's the coverage teams have had the most success against you. That's the kind of mindset, and we've seen a much more mature game from Kansas City in this one. Although I have to be honest, I got to go over to this play because there were some just baffling decisions by the Raiders. Not like a ton, but there were some. And it's kind of one of those things where you do really have to be perfect against Kansas City, and they were not. So what's happening here is it's a cover 3 zone, so only one safety deep, but it's a red zone situation, 1st down and goal, so it's a little bit different than it would be if it's, a regular situation. Anyways, what's happening is I've circled Tyreek Hill on this play, and the guy who's lined up against him is currently Desmond Trufant, which, listen, Trufant's had a great career. He should not be at this point in his career covering Tyreek Hill one-on-one. I didn't even realize he was with the Raiders at this point, to be honest. He's not even a top 4 corner on the Raiders, in my opinion. And, in fairness, Trufant's 30, so you would expect him to be, better than maybe he has been playing, but he hasn't been having as good of seasons these past few years. You could argue last year it was just being with Detroit, who was awful, because he's been pretty good outside of that, but it's just not a situation I would like Trufant to be in here. Watch how right when this play starts, so, you see Hill kind of fake as though he's going over the middle, and Trufant's following him. At this point, Hill's going to end up going towards the top of the screen, and, how do you expect really any corner to cover him up? Even Casey Hayward, if he was there, it's that's going to be tough. It's hard to cover Tyreek Hill one-on-one, but at least there you could say, well, we like Casey Hayward, we think he, is a really good corner, so we trust him. At least there's logic there. Putting him against Trufant, I don't love this call at all. And look, Hill cuts so well. It's ridiculous, his speed along with the way that he can cut. It shouldn't be possible to move that quickly and stop on a dime that quickly. That shouldn't be a thing that it should be illegal. It should be against the law. That shouldn't be possible. But still, give credit to Kansas City. Tyreek Hill took advantage of it, all that fun stuff. And I have to be honest, there was stuff like this where, honestly, Kansas City kind of left some points on the board throughout this. This is an example of there were still some clunkiness with the Chiefs. And this is kind of why I kept saying these plays have kind of always been an issue with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're never hitting, every single play down the field. We just forgive the missed plays when you have a bunch of good plays sprinkled in between. On this play, it's a cover 2 man play, but with a spy on the quarterback, Mahomes, which makes sense. Mahomes loves to scramble, so it's man coverage across the board, but with the 2 safeties deep, you expect that it's going to be difficult on this 3rd down and 11 to get the ball down the field. As you see, Mahomes takes the snap, and they are going to, at this point, what's interesting is, so nothing really gets open right away, but you see Robinson, I've circled him in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. He sees that Mahomes is scrambling outside the pocket, and while, as we know, there's a spy, Mahomes still is going to have some time to potentially make a throw. And Robinson also knows that due to the concept, the safety deep is now further towards the middle of the field, covering up other guys, so he can run deep and potentially get open. Look, it's just, quite frankly, a scramble drill. Mahomes sort of off balance overthrows it. That could have easily been a touchdown right there, and I know it's a difficult throw. It's also one we've seen Mahomes make with some consistency. So that's definitely one of those things where they didn't even play their perfect game. They really didn't. I thought this play was super cool. This was a really good example of kind of getting teams to play the coverage you want to go up against, right? We always talk about, 2 safety deep coverages, giving Mahomes trouble. Well, there's no rule saying you have to just allow them to play cover 2. And here's what I mean, where what's going to happen is that with the cover 2 that the Raiders are in, the dilemma with doing this for the Raiders is that it really makes it difficult to stop the run. However, you're okay since Kansas City doesn't have a tight end in the game. And so it seemed like Kansas City sort of caught on to this a little bit during this drive, and that gave the Raiders some trouble, because watch what's going to happen. They're going to pull a tight end further in now. So while it's set up as though it's cover 2, once you put a tight end in, a safety is going to also come in. Look, I have to jump cut it, but you see that now tight end has moved further in, and now you have a safety who has also moved further in. So at this point, now you have a chance to stop the run, where you probably would have been screwed had you not done this. But the flip side is you get that single safety deep coverage, which is exactly what Kansas City is trying to do. So this is the whole establish the run mindset. Or it doesn't even really have to be establishing the run, but just getting the underneath stuff going, which they were able to get early on. So this is going to be the coverage. It's a cover 3 zone. You're going to run a play action and have Hill run over in the middle. You know exactly what they're doing now, and it's something you're good against. Mahomes is going to take the snap, and you see how open Tyreek Hill gets. That's just a great example of how you set up some smaller plays to then get the bigger plays. I know that Kansas City feels like they can get the bigger plays at any moment, but clearly they have a lot more success when you do kind of run a more traditional offense, which they did tonight. And then also there was just this, which I'm sorry, this was just a baffling decision that made 0 sense in my opinion. So they're playing a cover 1 man, and the reason they're doing this is because you look at the situation, it's 3rd down and 2, and let's be honest, you're down 10 points, 4 minutes left. You're kind of in a situation where you need to maybe take some chances. So the idea is they're trying to cover the middle of the field with the linebacker covering the middle, and only a single safety deep. This now means that the sidelines deep are going to be open. My issue is, earlier they had Desmond Trufant covering Tyreek one-on-one. Well, now it's man coverage, and they legitimately have Brandon, I still don't know how to pronounce his name. I should have figured this out. Faiskin, I believe, who I've actually liked what I've seen from him. I was happy to hear Collinsworth shout him out, because I agree. He's played well. He hasn't played well enough to warrant getting one-on-one coverage against Tyreek Hill. This is just an insane decision by the Raiders. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, I do know what they're thinking. They're thinking, hey, Kansas City's probably going to go for something underneath, so it's not as big of a deal. But quite frankly, there's few safer plays in the league than a Tyreek Hill go route in a one-on-one matchup. I mean, that's about as high percentage as it gets, quite frankly. And look, as you see, it's a good route by Hill, gets the inside leverage, but then gets back to the outside, but he's just wide open. Just a, good throw from Mahomes, but really just a great route from Hill. You can't put yourself in that situation if you're the Raiders. You just can't. Yeah, I mean, listen, big win for the division-leading Chiefs. Can you believe that? After last week, we're thinking, man, the Chiefs aren't even going to make the playoffs. They look like Super Bowl contenders now. And the question is going to be how much of it is Kansas City, how much of it is Las Vegas. We'll have to kind of wait and see a little bit. But they actually play the Raiders in just a couple of weeks, so that should be interesting. They play the Cowboys next week, so I'm really looking forward to that game. That could be a real test with both of those teams, I think. So very much looking forward to that one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of a very, I would say surprising. Not necessarily surprising that the Chiefs won, but how badly they won. I was a little bit surprised. I thought it would be a close game. So, yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, Chiefs defense kind of slowly piecing stuff together a little bit. The past 5 games, they held Washington to 13 points, Tennessee to 27, but that was a blowout, so kind of, asterisk there. But it held the Giants to 17, held the, Jordan Love Packers to 7 points, and now held the Raiders to, barely getting anything going offensively. So really good win for the Chiefs. Chiefs are back. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.